Alright, so I've just plugged in the memory stick with a JPEG image file for the image that I want to print on this Polaroid P310 photo printer by Lexmark. I just put in a new a new cartridge tonight. It wasn't refilled or anything. It's a perfectly new cartridge, and it's giving me ink warning already. I've only done, I don't know, maybe 30 prints. Although a lot of them have had a lot of yellow in them, so maybe it's just the yellow ink that's low. So I'll let that run. You'll notice it took about 30 seconds to read the card and start printing. You can look at the time mark if you go back. I'll show you, while this is printing, some pictures that I got. So one thing you really need to know about this is that you can put pictures from a camera that isn't made for this format onto a memory stick and then print them. If you just plug it in, it'll automatically start printing, which is confusing because you wouldn't know unless you waited 30 seconds some reason to find out that it suddenly starts printing. It'll surprise you. You plug it in and you're like, okay, so you think you would hit print or something, but you don't. You just let it sit for 30 seconds and suddenly it starts printing. It prints 4x6. I've got glossy and I've got matte finish. Here's one right here. Now you notice the people up here have their heads cut off. They weren't really cut off. The printer did that because I don't shoot. My camera doesn't shoot in a 4x6 format. So the printer automatically just cropped their heads off. They cropped a little bit from the top and the bottom and printed the rest. So it took the width fine. It did the width right. But the top and bottom are not the correct cropping. It should look like this. So I'll give you a little side by side there. You can see how much it cropped off. So if you're going to do this from another camera that doesn't format in 4x6, then you need to go into an editor and add a border around your image first, around your picture. That's not the other pictures behind it. That's part of the border there, because I didn't really know how exact it was. I just had to throw a thick border around it so that it didn't cut off my pictures. You can see here, this is one of the matte finish ones. All the prints are really good quality. They do look good. You can see here it was passing too many times. I had problems with this paper. This flat matte finish paper didn't do well, and it actually was biting it here. It made, let me see if I can find one. It bit the paper, and it just, I don't have one here, but it crumpled the paper up. It might be because these matte ones are a little bit smaller. These ones have an extra little piece, so maybe it needed that to push it properly. That's what I'm guessing. So now it's finished. It just finished, and you have to pull it out by hand. And it looks good and all. It's nice print. Ignore those black lines. That was just a flaw from the editor when I was adding a border to space it down so it doesn't cut anything off. Although it goes right to the edge, the image, so I may have still ended up getting some of it cut off by the printer. Not sure. I would have to compare that to the original later on. So that's how long it took to print. It was about 4 minutes. Over 4 minutes. Which is a hassle. So now if you wanted another image, you would unplug this and plug it back in. I'd have to throw some more paper in there. But now you see how long it takes and how much effort you have to do to make a print. And you have to physically take it out, put the stick back in, and then it'll start printing the next one 30 seconds later. It takes a lot of time. You have to babysit it. You have to pull it out and do that every time, every picture. And you could do that in between working on something else, but that's still very, very it takes too much time. It's very time consuming. I don't recommend this printer at all. I wouldn't pay $10 for it, even with a fresh new ink, which is already blinking to say it's low. I'd pay, I don't know, $5 maybe? I don't know. I can't be bothered. The amount of time it takes to do this. And I work on little hobbies around the house, and I could go back and forth doing it, but it's not worth the effort. It's not worth the money. I wouldn't buy one. I wouldn't give one as a gift. It's horrible. I want to go burn it. So don't buy it.